Hey, this is take 2 on, or maybe 3, I don't even know, on Monday's Live. I've had a few tech challenges. My favorite quote is, one of my favorite quotes is, if you're not having problems with technology, it means you're not using any. So true, right? Because as soon as we figure something out, they go ahead and change it. So that kind of goes along with that saying, if you know better, you'll do better, right? Sounds good. I think it's attributed to Oprah Winfrey and Maya Angelou and, elsewhere. I looked it up a little bit before I got on, but I don't think it's true. I'm calling bullshit, okay? Because we know that we should quit smoking, for example. Not that that's not been a personal one for me, but I know people who've struggled with that for years. We know we shouldn't overdrink alcohol, and we still do. I don't anymore, but I had to work hard on that one. We know that we shouldn't eat that second helping of pie or that whole container of ice cream or you name it. We know we shouldn't, sit on the couch and binge Netflix for 3 days. We know it's not a great idea to, or it would be a great idea to exercise. We know that. We know that stuff, right? I think part of that comes down to wanting the instant gratification. And it depends on how high your stress levels are right now. I've been really battling with sugar lately and just eating more. And part of it's I'm not sleeping well, and part of it is the stress around my mom's health. For those of you who don't know, she's almost 96 and failing. She's completely bedridden now. So she's lived an amazing life. And, however it plays out is how it's going to play out. But just this middle of the thing waiting is hard. Being with her is hard, and being away from her is hard. It just is. And accepting that is a little challenging. And accepting that without putting something else in my mouth I shouldn't be eating or would normally choose not to eat, I hate the word should, is challenging right now. And so I'm letting that be okay, because this is a certain season in my life that your mother only dies once, maybe, unless you have a stepmom or something weird, whatever. But I only have one. So there's a lot of high emotions around it. And that makes it harder for me. And that's okay, because I'm human, and that's what you all are too. So, knowing those things, sometimes the really logical stuff is really easy. The stuff that's just involving our brain, that doesn't have an emotional attachment or a, deal where it's like, I'm going to feel better now if I do what I would rather choose not to do. So, it's interesting how our minds play games. And that's what this all is it's a mind thing. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So if those things we're telling ourselves that we ought to do or should, right? Don't should on yourself, okay? We make choices. We make a gazillion choices every single day. And we're doing the best we can with the tools that we have. And even when I was over drinking, that's what I learned to say to myself as I was pulling out of that. And I say to myself now, I was doing the best I could with the tools that I had at the time. And I knew better for a long time before I could do better, because I had to deal with those underlying subconscious beliefs that keep us stuck in that pattern of not necessarily doing what we thought we would move towards or rather do. It's interesting how our brains work. And I just want you to feel better about knowing that, oh, I know that, and I'm doing it anyway. It's because you're human, okay? And give yourself a pass. And maybe instead of saying, I can't ever do that again, or shame on me, I shouldn't have done that, whatever it was, whatever, say, how could I have handled that differently? how could I look at this situation from a different angle and maybe make a better choice? And how can I maybe, make small, gradual shifts that add up to big ones? Maybe adding a glass of water every day, or maybe I need to get back to this because I got off when I was with my mom, but I was committed, and I did this for about 2 or 3 months, 3 minutes of exercise every day. And that sounds so little and so lame, and it's like, oh, why aren't you doing more? Well, because I want to hold in personal integrity with this. And I don't want to commit to more because I don't want to blow it. So I'm going to commit to something itty bitty and know that I can do 3 minutes every day. And when some days I would choose to do more, and some days I wouldn't do it in the morning, and then I'm thinking, okay, how can I do 3 minutes of something later on? And sometimes it was just a little balance exercise thing. Sometimes it was a little bit of walking. Sometimes it was the full-blown leg exercises that I'm doing with my old knee and my new knee. It just depended on how the day was going. But the commitment was to 3 minutes. And I kind of stepped away from that when I was with Mom. So I'm going to go back to that after this next trip. I leave Wednesday for a seminar and to visit a couple girlfriends, and that's going to fill my cup and re-energize me with positive energy and just Texas heat, but good things that will help me, move forward with the situation with Mom and just the other things that I want to do in my life. And it's choosing wanting to. And not saying, oh, I should have done that. I just don't go there anymore. And I don't let anybody else take me there either. It's like, I did this presentation on a Facebook group that I'm in for people who are struggling with alcohol. And it was called You're Not Broken. And because so many of us think that we are. And so many of us think that we are when we're overweight, or we have an icky relationship, or we have blah, 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 blah. And part of it's the comparison thing that goes on with Facebook and all the other social media things where people are posting what's going right. So, I'm here to post about what's going wrong sometimes. I struggled. We all struggle. I'm still struggling. And you know what? That's okay, because we're all human. And I had major tech problems with that presentation, and I had tech problems today. Oh, well, you're going to have tech problems. So what? Does it really matter? Maybe when somebody sees this and they're having tech problems too, or whatever, they're like, oh, she's okay with that, so I can be okay with that too. And so it's about giving ourselves permission to do a little less sometimes, because that's okay, and we have to take care of ourselves. And sometimes taking care of ourselves is saying, I'm going to go back to bed, or I'm going to do some self-nurturing stuff. And I'm still looking for self-nurturing stuff that doesn't involve food. Okay? I'm going to be honest. And I'll find it. And I'm keeping my eyes open for it now, and just looking for different things to incorporate into my life in little bitty ways. And, then those habits will grow. And, knowing better and doing better, yeah, that's lofty and it's wonderful. It sounds great. Yeah, and it's okay. Because you don't always know better and do better. Otherwise, everybody's lives would be perfect, because we know a lot of stuff that we don't do. So let yourself off the hook. And know that you are doing the best you can with the tools you have right now. And sometimes you have better tools and you're not quite implementing them yet, because that's a process. Sometimes we have to learn to deal with those internal beliefs and the negative Nelly or the brain brat or whatever you want to call the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, or you didn't do that right, or whatever it's telling you. That voice no longer has a place in my head. I kicked it out. And I'm able to say, not in an arrogant way, but like I'm better than you are. No, I'm as good as, and I'm good enough. And yeah, I don't do everything right, and who cares? But I do really well for myself right now, and it's only going to get better. But there's nothing I need fixed, quote unquote. It could be better, and it will be, because I'm committed to that. So have a wonderful day. I don't know what next week's Monday Musing is going to be like, because I'm going to be in Dallas. So I might see if I can do a video and post it, so it posts at the right time, kind of thing. I got to figure that out. It's tech, so who knows if it'll work. Or, I might do a little something later from the hotel room or something. I got to figure it out. But I'm going to just let myself really enjoy this trip, however that plays out. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. Try to stay cool, which is not easy to do in a lot of parts of the country and the world right now. But blessings, and feel free to comment, or if you have a question, something you'd like me to talk about, that'd be cool. Thanks for hopping on, Marilyn. Good to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.